Hi, this is Daniela, and welcome to Bestie Life, the podcast, where we help you stop burnout now. If you're tired of running on empty, juggling all the things, and wondering when your life is supposed to feel better, you're in the right place. This show is your go-to space for real talk and practical strategies to help you protect your energy, create balance, and actually enjoy the life you're working so hard for. You'll get a mix of solo episodes and honest conversations with guests. My goal is to help you feel less alone, more empowered, and way more in control of your time and energy and well-being. So let's get into it. Hi, this is Daniela with Bestie Life, the podcast. And if you've ever felt like the clock is running your life, then today's episode is for you. We're diving into something called time affluence. And this is the sense that you have enough time to do the things that matter most to you. And research has shown that people who feel time affluent are happier, less stressed, and more satisfied with their life. So unfortunately, why do many of us feel the opposite? Like we're constantly chasing time, rushing, and still never caught up. Well, I'm excited. We're going to unpack this today. So grab your favorite beverage, grab something to write with, and let's dive in. So what exactly is time affluence? I knew this was a new term to me when I first saw it, and probably new to many of you as well. So time affluence isn't about having a perfectly curated calendar or endless free hours. It's actually very subjective. It has to do with the feeling that you have enough time. Think about it. Two people can have the same 24 hours in the day. They can even have many of the same events, activity. They work together. They get to work by the same time. They leave at the same time. They have similar activities outside of work. But one of them feels stretched thin, while the other one feels spacious in their day. The difference isn't just in schedules, but in their mindset, in how we relate to time, how we think about that time. So studies show that when people feel time affluent, they report greater happiness. They have higher levels of well-being, and overall they feel less stressed. And this isn't just some nice idea. It's actually measurable. In that the way we perceive time is going to impact the way we experience our entire lives. And so the thing is, here's where it can get tricky, okay? Because many of us think the solution to time scarcity, to not having enough time, is speed. So we start to rush through our errands, we multitask, we fill in every gap of the day thinking, well, if I do things faster, then I'll have more time left over to do the things I want to do. And that's where the paradox is. The thing is, so the very act of rushing programs us to feel like we don't have enough time. When you're speeding through life, your brain gets the constant signal, oh my gosh, time is scarce. I'm running out of time. I'm behind. I've got to hurry up. And so it creates this rhythm of scarcity where time always feels like it's slipping away. And now here's the kicker as well. So the time we save by rushing actually rarely ends up ever feeling satisfying or ever feeling like it's enough, because our bodies and minds get so used to that fast pace that then this is where slowing down can feel uncomfortable or even wasteful. Have you ever finished your to-do list, just sat down and rest, and immediately thought, I should be doing X, Y, and Z, or I should be doing more? And that's what I'm talking about, where we have talked about different exercises and being able to sit and listening to what comes up in your head, because peace is going to start to feel foreign because your nervous system has now been trained for the hustle. That's what we've normalized. So that's why this mindset shift to time affluence is so powerful, because it doesn't just have to do with how we're completing the things we need to do, but also it affects how we're able to rest, how we're able to recharge, and how we're able to use our free time and get the benefits from it based on how we handled our tasks. Now, another layer to all this is how we think about time in relation to money. You might have heard the phrase, time is money, right? And on the surface, that makes sense. Time is valuable. You don't want to waste it. But studies have shown that when people deeply believe that time is money, they're actually less happy. And why, you might be wondering? I know I was, which is why I was like, I gotta know. Every moment of leisure then becomes a missed financial opportunity. So sitting with a friend, reading a book, going for a walk can feel like a loss instead of a gain, because we've put this monetary value on our time. So I want you to flip that script now. Instead of time is money, money is time. And that mindset is going to change everything because it reframes money as a tool for your benefit to buy back space for what matters, such as connection, reflection, joy. And instead of squeezing every second of your time for productivity, you're going to start to be able to look at how your resources can help you reclaim time. I've talked about delegating as a very powerful time tool. And so this might mean, outsourcing something, delegating, saying no to low value tasks or urgent tasks that are not important for you to be the person doing, and investing in things that give you that time freedom instead of just investing in stuff is going to be really key to not only how you're spending your time, but how you're enjoying your free time. For me, this reminds me of a very simple shift that I made when it came to time. It has to do with taking my dogs for a walk, or when I'm intentionally engaging in something for fun, for me, for rest. For years, I would always still have either my phone with me or have a watch on, just to kind of keep track of time. I thought I was being efficient. I thought I was being responsible. The thing is, I was also reinforcing the fact that I was short on time, that I only had a little bit of time or might be running out of time. And so one day I decided I was going to stop doing that, stop bringing my phone with me at all times. So I wasn't glancing down, having every few minutes or keeping track of that time. And at first it felt a little strange, whether it's like, oh, I had a thought I needed to call somebody, needed to do something, needed to check something, or just know how much time I had left. But over time, I feel like I'm saying that word a lot, I realized I was actually being more present and getting more benefits during those moments. I wasn't measuring every moment against the clock. I could really sink in and enjoy the walk, enjoy those conversations, enjoy my meals without constant reminders of what was coming next, how much time I had. And those small shifts really helped me step into some time affluence, not because I had more hours, because the time I did have, whether it was 20 minutes outside walking my dog, I was experiencing it differently just from taking that space and that break from feeling I always needed to be accountable to the clock. So here's some strategies to help you build your own time affluence. And like I had said in the beginning, this is subjective. It's going to look and feel different for everybody. Like in my own story, that was a way it worked for me. But here's some ways to maybe help you create more of this in your own day-to-day life. The first one is to slow down intentionally. Okay, so try doing one task without needing to rush, without looking at the clock. Notice how it feels. Let your nervous system relearn that slower doesn't always equal wasteful. Okay, so taking that slow stroll, slow walk, sitting and resting without checking the clock is gonna help you retrain your nervous system. The second one is to redefine productivity and ask yourself, am I cramming more in or am I really creating meaningful time for what matters? This is some of that whole busy versus productive debate that we've talked about before. Sometimes one thing done with presence, intentionality, and solo tasking beats 5 things done in a hurry. Multitasking isn't always best when it comes to getting things done. So really define what it means to be productive. And the last thing is flip that money versus time script and look for ways to use your resources to buy back your time, not just fill it. So that could be, ordering groceries online, delegating a task at work or carpool or where you're driving people around, or even just simplifying some routines and doing it in a way that feels more spacious, feels like you have more. I also want you to protect your white space. I talk about this when we talk about time planning. You do not have to schedule every single minute. You need those buffer zones between the different tasks that you have. Leave open time blocks where nothing is planned. This signals to your brain that you do have enough time so that if life happens unexpectedly, which it does, you have the space in order to roll through it, to adapt, to pivot. And if you have nothing planned during that time, now you have some micro moments of self-care. And then practicing gratitude with your time at the end of the day. Instead of, we can look back at the things we accomplished, but name one moment where you felt spacious, where you just were present in the moment that made you smile, that made you happy. That could be laughing with your kids or friends, finishing a chapter of a book, or just sitting and enjoying a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and noticing, intentionally how it smelled, how it felt in your hand, how it tasted. And this is, again, rewiring your perception and savoring and feeling that moment is, again, going to give you that time affluence when it comes to these tasks. Because ultimately, time affluence isn't about controlling the clock. It's about shifting how you're experiencing time. And when we stop rushing and stop measuring life in economic terms, like how much we're making and all of that, and really start savoring the hours we do have, we actually feel richer and more fulfilled and happier. So here's your challenge this week. Find one way to slow down and reclaim a sense of time affluence. Maybe it's putting your phone down while you eat. Maybe, like I said, when I go for a walk, I leave my phone at home. Maybe it's saying no to one unnecessary task or delegating something and, again, enjoying that free time. Notice how it changes your mood, your energy, and your sense of enoughness at the end of that one block that you give yourself. So thanks so much for tuning in today, spending some time with me. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend who can use it, as well as subscribe to this podcast so that we can share it with more individuals and help them to reclaim their life, their time, and prevent burnout. And as always, you can connect with me on Instagram at BestieLife. Grab my free Reclaim Your Time in 10-Minute Blocks cheat sheet so that you have a plan to start experiencing that time affluence, using your time intentionally and owning it on a day-to-day. So until next time, take a breath, take your time, and enjoy the moments that matter. Talk to you soon. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you got something out of this episode that really made you feel seen, supported, or just a little bit more grounded. If you have any questions or thoughts, I'd love to hear from you. And if you're up for it, please leave me a 5-star review. That will help more people find the show and join this community. I'll leave you with 2 of my favorite quotes. Alone we may be strong, but together we're stronger. And when we support each other, incredible things happen. So let's keep showing up for ourselves and each other, and maybe even have some fun while we're at it. I'll talk to you soon.